the ruling party's gala dinner is taking place on the eve of their 55th elective conference. Let's listen into Paul Mashitile.
Let me start by acknowledging President of the ANC and the Republic, President Cyril Ramaphosa. I've been informed that the Deputy President won't be able to join us this evening due to other pressing commitments. Let me acknowledge the National Chairperson of the ANC, Comrade Gwede Samson Mantash. I haven't been able to see him tonight, but I'm told he's somewhere in the room, who's also our Minister of Minerals and Energy. Acknowledge all members of the National Executive Committee. Former presidents, I'm not sure if they have arrived, Comrade Jacob Zuma, Comrade Kgalema Motlanthe. I'm told Comrade Thabo Mbeki won't make it this evening. I want to take this opportunity to also welcome the former liberation movements. The program director has already done so, and we will be able to get all the details later, but Comrade Paulo Pombolo, MPLA, Secretary General, Comrade Obet Mpofu, ZANU PF, Secretary General, Comrade Jibril Rajub, Secretary General of Fatah, Jatri Muhammad Abdallah, Politburo member of Polisario Front, Fadat Achib, member and Politburo of National Liberation Front of Algeria, Honorable Batuke Imenda, Secretary General of UPND Zambia. Let me proceed by acknowledging more people. I want to now start with the veterans of our movement. I heard Comrade Lindiwe Zulu talking about a council of elders. I think, Comrade Lindy, you were moving a motion, so I'm seconding a council of elders. You can see I'm slowly walking there myself to join. Welcome to our veterans. They always inspire us. They always bring wisdom in our meetings, in the NEC, in our National General Council conferences. Let me also acknowledge members of our National Cabinet, members of Parliament, members of provincial legislatures, that's MPLs, ministers, deputy ministers, premiers, councillors, executive mayors. All of you here present, you are most welcome. All ambassadors and members of the diplomatic corps who we had asked Comrade Mohamed Dango to please take care of them as a former ambassador himself. You are all welcome. Distinguished business people, when later on we will announce all the business people who are here, mainly the companies, because you are too many to be recognized by name, but we will acknowledge all the companies that are here this evening. I may have left other important people who are here this evening, but I want to welcome all of you distinguished guests all protocol observed. Just a few remarks from myself. Firstly, I just want to say that this is an important dinner to us because it is actually our last dinner. Or Comrade Lindiwe and Gwen. It's Comrade Gwen, sorry Comrade Gwen, I didn't see you. Comrade Gwen Ramaphosa works with me at Lutulias. It is our last supper before we are voted out. So I was saying to the President as we're taking pictures with our staff, and we said to them, this is your last opportunity. We may not be back here next week because there's an important conference starting tomorrow. But I want to take this opportunity to really thank all of you most sincerely, all the business people. We have walked this journey with you for the last 5 years, and would like to spend this lovely evening with you as we prepare to hand over to the new leadership. We thank you most sincerely because you were always there when we called you to come to our dinners. We charge you money, but you don't complain. But let me say, the money that we charge you really assists us in the work we do. So we appreciate all the support over the last 5 years, and I want to say, indeed, without your support, we would not be able to do the many things that we are doing. As you know, we are a struggling NGO. Struggling NGO. So thank you very much to all of you on behalf of the National Executive Committee of the African National Congress. Let me now take this opportunity to invite to the podium the President of the African National Congress, who's also the President of the Republic of South Africa, President Cyril Ramaphosa, who will come and share with us his thoughts as we move towards this important 55th National Conference of the ANC that will start tomorrow morning. Comrade President, the floor is yours. Actually, I should have said the stage is yours. The floor is for later when we dance.
Thank you. Let's be seated, please. Program Director, Comrade Lindiwe Zulu, the officials of the African National Congress who are here present in the form of the National Chairperson, the Treasurer General, also assisting us as a core of those who have to play a role as officials, and the SGO, Comrade Gwen Ramaphosa. I haven't seen former President Jacob Zuma. I heard he would be here. If he is, I extend my greetings to Comrade Jacob Zuma. Comrade Motlanthe was also meant to be here, but I'm sure they may be caught up. As you heard, the Deputy President is caught up in other tasks. I extend my greetings to the veterans of our movement who are here, members of the National Executive Committee, chairs of our provinces right across the countries and secretaries and members of the PECs of our various provinces who are also here. And I also want to extend special greetings to the leaders of former liberation movements who are here present from various countries, who we will properly greet tomorrow. Your Excellencies, ambassadors and high commissioners from various countries, our international guests who have traveled from far and afield to be here with us tonight. We last had this type of dinner a few months ago when we held our policy conference, and that set the tone for a wonderful policy conference that adopted a number of policies to be proposed for adoption at our national conference, which commences tomorrow. It was a wonderful precursor to what was that successful policy conference. We're doing the same tonight in your presence, and I see this as a wonderful precursor to what will definitely become a wonderful conference that commences tomorrow. So I'd like to thank you for being here, particularly those who are also members of the Progressive Business Forum and those who are friends of the African National Congress. Your presence here speaks volumes about the high regard you have for the African National Congress, and it tells us that you continue to be interested, to be supportive of the work that we do in the African National Congress, and more broadly, as the leader of the government of the Republic of South Africa. Your presence also speaks to what may interest you greatly, beyond just being a supporter, about finding out and hearing issues that have to do with the world that you live in, the world you operate in, which is in the economic field. Members of the PBF can confirm that it is the various policies, progressive policies I might add, that the African National Congress has been implementing, has been upholding, that makes them become more interested in being supportive to the ANC or of the ANC as they see a transformation process underway. So we truly thank you. You are true friends of the African National Congress. But your presence here also beams out a wonderful message to others who may not be here, so that they too can see what you see. These have been difficult times for our country, for our economy, for the people of South Africa, and for our movement. In the space of just 5 years, we held our 54th National Conference, and in that space of time, our country has been caught in strong headwinds. First came COVID-19. That was soon followed up by the 2021 unrest, as though that was the end of our troubles. Catastrophic floods hit us, And now, with the rain pelting down as it is, we begin to see the spectre of what happened when the floods hit Gauteng, KZN, particularly Eastern Cape, KZN, and Northwest. But now we are seeing that spectre beginning to unfold here in Gauteng as well. As though that was not enough, the Russia-Ukraine conflict sparked a global cost of living crisis and now a debilitating energy crisis. The first of these crises hit less than 10 months into the term of the 6th administration. We have had to fulfill the 2019 electoral mandate and at the same time steer the ship through stormy and unexpectedly rough waters. Likewise, the ANC has been experiencing its own challenges, and some may even say turbulence. Remaining firmly on the path of unity, renewal, and socio-economic transformation has not been easy, but we have stayed the course. The African National Congress has been around for 110 years. As Comrade Lindy Zulu said, the oldest movement, liberation movement on our continent. We've stayed the course, demonstrated our resilience and our ability to deal with challenges like any other movement. Yes, we've been through many challenges, and we don't want to be arrogant enough to say we've seen this before and we have survived. We take each struggle, each turbulence in our stride, and we find solutions and answers to the challenges that come our way. 2 years since the emergence of COVID-19 plunged our country and the world into a state of fear, uncertainty, and chaos, the pandemic, fortunately, is in abeyance. This is thanks to a coordinated and effective national response that brought together all sectors of society. It is thanks to the pro-poor policies of the African National Congress-led government that ensured that society's most vulnerable were sheltered from the worst impacts of the pandemic. We could well be the only country on the continent that rolled out as much assistance packages as we did, that almost amounted to 10% of our GDP. We designed and implemented a special relief of distress grant that reached easily about 11 million people and increased existing social support that our government provides to our people. We implemented a range of relief measures to support businesses in distress and to enable them to continue operating. Unfortunately, some businesses did not survive. When vaccines became available, our country, South Africa, was at the forefront of global advocacy to ensure that vaccines are made available to all. For we believed that a product like vaccines should be a public good. We subsequently rolled out the largest mass vaccination program in the history of our country. Just as we have been able to see out the worst global health emergency in living memory, we are now seeing and beginning to see the green shoots of economic recovery. The size of the South African economy now exceeds the pre-pandemic levels, and the GDP growth at 1.6% in the third quarter is moving us in the right direction. Despite the impact of the pandemic last year, South Africa posted the largest trade surplus on record. Over the past year, around 1.5 new jobs were created, but this is on the back of having lost 2 million jobs in just over a year's period during the pandemic. We were able to implement a number of other measures that enabled a number of South Africans to get job opportunities, and also to assist companies to be kick-started back to operation. And we have now embarked, and this would be of interest to many of you who are in business, we've now embarked on a number of structural reforms that are particularly aimed at improving the business operating environment that should enable businesses to find it a lot easier to operate and bringing down the costs of business, and also cutting away the bureaucracy and the red tape that often obtains in the economic field. We also were able to announce our great ambition of attracting investments into our country, and now we are almost 95% way of reaching the target that we set. We have also made great progress on addressing one of the key challenges that faces humanity today, which is climate change. The incessant rains and droughts that we experience in our country, floods on the eastern seaboard, and internally as we are experiencing them now in Gauteng, and droughts on the eastern side of the country are a clear demonstration and evidence of climate change, which is the biggest challenge that faces humanity. And through that, we've been able to craft a plan that we have put forward that tells us that we are going to need quite a lot of money to be able to address the challenge of climate change. A number of you are in business, emerging business, existing business, or otherwise. We've been able to advance our Black economic empowerment policies, and recently we held the inaugural Black Economic Empowerment Advisory Council that will guide our government on the process of intensifying economic transformation that we would like to speed up. We also held our first Black Industrialist Conference. Over the past 11 years, this key program has supported Black enterprises to the value of 55 billion rand. Money that has been spent in the form of grants and easy loans to enable those Black industrial businesses to get off the ground and to play a key role in the economy of our country. We are also strengthening the transformative impact of public spending through the Public Procurement Bill. This year has also seen legislative changes around employment equity, another key tool of transformation. And the amendments that we have fostered have made a number of others who are opposed to transformation to be uptight and to be not pleased with us. Next year, we will mark 2 decades since the passage of the broad-based Black Economic Empowerment Act. It will be an opportunity to reflect on how far we have come in leveraging or utilizing this law to transform the racialized ownership patterns in our economy. This has been a year also of intensifying our fight against corruption and state capture. Our prosecuting agencies have been hard at work and making sure that we rid our country of corruption and that we address it frontally. Within our movement, which we will talk more about tomorrow, there's also been renewed momentum towards fulfilling the resolutions of the 54th Conference in a number of ways, which we will outline in the political report that will be tabled tomorrow. So there have been significant gains, a number of areas where we've made progress, but there have also been areas where we have not made progress, and those will also similarly be addressed. We still have huge challenges, but change is taking place, and things are getting better, and they will continue to get better. The aspiration of common prosperity cannot be realized without a dynamic and growing economy, an economy that creates jobs and brings dignity to all. And despite the many challenges we have faced over the past 5 years, we've been able to stay the course and address those challenges. And at times it may have been like we are moving 5 steps forward or backwards and maybe 1 step forward. But we have been on a forward trajectory. I recall that the conference mandated us 5 years ago to actively seek partnerships with the private sector and provide leadership to guide our country towards its developmental goals. The message to the Progressive Business Forum and to the friends of the PBF is that we cannot grow and transform our economy without you. You play an integral part as people who are active in the economy. And as I walked in, I saw a number of you. This year's conference is therefore a watershed moment, not only for the African National Congress, but for all of us as South Africans. It is a test of whether we will continue to be faithful to the renewal of the African National Congress and to the transformation of our economy and society. For it is only a united African National Congress that can unite the people of South Africa. And the people of South Africa continue to store their hopes and confidence in the ability of the African National Congress to renew itself, to forge unity within its own ranks, and to therefore consolidate the unity that we should have as a nation. Only an ANC that has rid itself of undesirable tendencies and practices can seriously have the ability to unite the ANC itself and therefore unite South Africa. Only an ANC that is comprised of loyal cadres who are selfless, whose only desire is to serve the cause of the people of South Africa, can ensure that the public service that we give to our people reflects the values that the ANC stands for. The ANC is our political and ideological home. And I'm really pleased that we've got guests from former liberation movements here with us present, because in many ways, our connection is about our political and ideological orientation. The task we face is to make the ANC the political home of all the people of South Africa. As the renewal of the ANC continues, as it continues to gather momentum, we have the utmost confidence that we will restore the glory of our movement and regain the trust of our people. We recall these words by Martin Luther King Jr., who said, "Human progress is neither automatic nor inevitable. Every step towards the goal of justice requires sacrifice, suffering, struggle, the tireless exertions, and the passionate concerns of dedicated individuals," close quote. Gathered in this room tonight are the dedicated individuals whom Martin Luther King speaks of, dedicated to a better South Africa and to an economic recovery that leaves no one behind. Yes, South Africa is recovering. We're recovering from the impact of COVID. We're also recovering at an economic level. The ANC itself is being restored to its founding values, and our country is moving forward. With your support, which you are giving so generously, and through your commitment, we will build on the progress we have made over the past years to build the country that we seek, the South Africa of our dreams. And I therefore thank you for being here. You are a welcome precursor. Your presence is a welcome precursor to the beginning of a watershed conference that commences tomorrow. So as we will welcome you, some of you who will participate in the conference tomorrow, we give you the first welcome to the next 5 days that are going to determine where South Africa goes, not only in the next 5 years, but in the next decade and beyond that. So thank you for being here, and thank you for coming to break bread with us. And thank you for your donations as well. Thank you very much.
The President of the ANC, Cyril Ramaphosa, making his opening remarks at the gala dinner to really mark the official start of the ANC elective conference. Starting that speech on a rather sober note, speaking about the many challenges that the country and indeed the party has faced and what they've been able to do. Of course, then saying, talking about how they've been able to respond to challenges like the pandemic and everything that has followed.